Are we live?
We got it.
Hello, everybody,
yeah.
and welcome to another episode of My Singing Monsters Live. The livest it can possibly be, because you know what? We decided to forego the opening, sort of like Foregone, that game that we released a couple of years ago. But anyway, welcome to My Singing Monsters Live, your one-stop shop for everything to do with My Singing Monsters. We are your hosts, Monster Handler Matt.
Monster Handler Tyson.
And who? And who is that? Who?
An unfamiliar face.
I don't know who that is. Introduce yourself, stranger.
Yourself,
Monster Handler Charlie. Hi. I'm happy to
Welcome to My Singing
Everyone
Monsters
say hi
Live.
to Monster Handler Charlie in the chat.
So Charlie, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, you might recognize my voice from Monster Mythos that started on Monday.
One of our brand new segments on our YouTube channel.
Right. I'm starting to connect the dots there.
Yes,
I was
yes.
wondering that, yeah.
And I've been learning a lot about the My Singing Monster community and the lore, and I'm here to learn more with both you, Tyson, and Matt.
Perfect. Well, we're thrilled to have you joining the program.
Of course.
Amazing to grow the number of monster handlers in the world. And Monster Mythos plans to be a very exciting segment. I know a lot of folks tuned in and thought that was very cool. Your voice also struck me as kind of familiar in a different way. Correct me if I'm wrong, Monster Handler Charlie, but you also have another vocal claim to fame.
What?
Which is?
That's right. I am one of the voices of Gnarls.
Oh, alongside
Monster Handler.
Wait a minute. Is this news? Is this news to you, Monster Handler Tyson?
No, I didn't know that.
No, he knew.
I knew
We're just playing with you.
Yeah, we're playing
We
with
got
you.
a very
Handler Jen.
exciting
And Monster
show
Handler Jen.
and Monster Handler Jen, not to be forgotten about. We've got a very exciting show for you today. It's the inaugural sky painting in the monster world, which is very, very exciting. Before we get into those details, I'm trying to see which camera I'm talking to here. Before we get to those details, we've got some exciting stuff to catch up on from the last couple of weeks, because the Monster Handlers have been very busy, and not just here in town, but abroad.
Well, friends, you probably noticed this nice little tan I got here.
I had noticed. It's hard. Don't compare with me. It'll just be embarrassing.
We just got back, me, Monster Handler Jen, and Monster Handler Jason. We just got back from Anaheim, California, because we went to VidCon, which was so fun. And I think we got a few clips from there. We'll show. Yeah, here's like the show floor and everything. And we got to meet so many handler helpers. It was so exciting. And we were giving out some in-game rewards if you did find us as well, so that was a bonus.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it was so fun to meet everyone, and people would bring us art. Some people just came to the show just to see us, which was so nice. And,
very nice.
And
that reminds me, I think we have some physical art that maybe at one point during the show we can run and go and grab and show off. Maybe we can show off that today. And what you got everybody to say the classic greeting, right?
So I did get everyone who wanted to say Happy Monstering with us. So we do have a little edit here. Of everyone saying happy monstering, which was awesome. And there's FGTV also saying happy
very, very
monstering.
cool.
So
Awesome.
It was so awesome to meet all the fans of the community. So great to talk to you guys. So if I met you and you're in the chat right now, hello. It was so great meeting you. We met a bunch of like influencers, TikTokers, and YouTubers that were so great, and hopefully some MSM content will be coming from them.
Whoa, very exciting!
And yeah, no, it was great.
So great success.
It was a great success, and hey, if we ever want to go to more cons, I think the handler helpers will like that.
Whoa, that's good to know. That's good to know. That's not the only recent exciting thing that happened.
Really?
We also, much closer to home here in London, where Big Blue Bubble headquarters is based, we did a very neat event recently in cooperation with our local library. Monster Handler Charlie, you were actually one of the volunteers for that particular special event. I think we'll have some information about that particular event coming in the next couple of weeks on our Big Blue Bubble social channel. So if you don't already follow those, make sure to do so. My Singing Monsters is the game, is the product you consume and that you enjoy. But the Big Blue Bubble Monster Handlers, we're always up to some fun and exciting stuff as well. So make sure to check those out.
Yes.
So we'll get into a little bit more of the other sorts of community involvement things that we have slated in the near future. But first things first, let's dive right into the meat and potatoes of today. Sky painting, the very first of its kind, taking place on Light Island.
That was today. Wow.
Another amazing trailer, finding your voice.
Yes, a beautiful
very
trailer.
thematically relevant, very connected to the very theme of sky painting itself. So, Monster Handler Ben, why don't we jump right in and take a look at those interstitials, those messages. Here we go. As so many of you correctly predicted, yes, of course, Whiz Bang belongs on a beautifully redecorated Light Island. It's available to buy or breed for a limited time at level 9 on Light Island. And of course, as per usual with these seasonal events, it is discounted in the market on Seasonal Shanty. It's home away from home for the rest of the year.
Beautiful.
And now I mentioned, of course, you know, how did people know this? They have pieced it together based on last anniversary month's Island Spotlight sales, and those have been pretty accurate to date. And we're obviously whittling down to the last few brand new seasonal events in our year of My Singing Monsters programming. So maybe we'll have to, you know, circle back in at a later date and sort of see what's going to happen with that final one, Mind Boggle. But that's for another time.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
We're talking
about sky painting.
It's exactly.
Sky
It's
painting,
all
not
about
mind
sky
boggle.
painting. Speaking of being all about sky painting, let's take a look at the beautiful island skin that was created for Light Island. Now, of course, the Phosphora Titan, on which Light Island is set, typically is known for its yellowish tones and, of course, the green glow of the Aurora Monstralis behind it. But there's something special around this time of year after the estival solstice, not a typo, not festival, but estival, which is actually the adjective for summer. You learn something new every day. The estival solstice, the days following the estival solstice, is when the magnetism of the Aurora Monstralis allows unique phenomena to occur and interdimensional portals to open. You might have seen Phosphora sort of activating its connection with a certain other dimension
we'll maybe get into that,
and we'll get into that
in our
a
lore
little
talk.
bit later. But of course, not only is this a beautiful island skin, but it comes with boosts. Sorry, Ben. If you could skate back for, thank you very much. Sorry, that's all good. I'm jumping around here.
It did seem like you were setting up.
I apologize. The boosts here on the island, we've got 10% faster breeding, 10% faster baking, and of course the obstacles with seasonal appearance. And you can elect to buy this with your diamonds or with the conveniently priced pack. That also comes with an additional bonus 50 diamonds. You can, of course, also, as per usual, just apply this as a free trial during the duration of sky painting itself.
But you're saying I can have this beautiful skin just forever?
If you get it.
If I get it, okay. Well,
it's a transaction, Monster Handler. You must pay the toll.
I think I'll do that.
But yes, it is absolutely beautiful, and the imagery of the crystals that kind of look like prismants. Don't they? You know what else kind of looks like prismants? And here's the perfect segue here, Monster Handler Ben. The Light Island sky painting themed obstacle decorations locked in their seasonal appearance. You can see the trees have sort of dimmed their usual yellow all the way down to the root there, to the stalk, and beautiful ornaments have been hung with care upon their branches. And what are usually those sort of nodules of phosphor have become these beautiful crystals that closely resemble the prismants. If you look carefully on the big sky painting rock back there, the configuration of those colored crystals sort of reminds me of the configuration on a special sort of portal. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit later. But that's not the only thing that can be placed in the ground on Light Island, but we're going to get to that in just a second because we've got one thing happening in between that, I believe, and that is, of course, a brand new rare magical, Rare Fluoresce. Available to buy or breed at level 9 for a limited time on the following islands. On Light Island and on Magical Sanctum as well. I wonder how many people correctly predicted that we would be continuing the theme of these light magical rares in that they are using the complementary color base of their common form. So if common fluoresces greenish,
Right.
this one's going to be reddish hued. And if you read the bio of this particular monster, you might glean some insights about why specifically it has all those toothy parts sticking out of it.
Yeah, I was just wondering that. I still haven't gone to the bio yet.
Well, you'll have to check it out. It may or may not be some nerdy show tunes references.
Oh, sweet.
So you'll have to go and check those out. Yes,
Everybody
color
loves
and
show
light.
tunes.
I love short
It's only color and light. It's a beautiful thing. Yes, a certain Broadway composer figures prominently in more than one way into sky painting, which is thematically relevant in and of itself.
Great.
Next, I was mentioning things coming out of the ground. We have dipsters available to buy at level 10.
Whoa.
4, 6. Oh, if we ever need
Monster Hunter
more,
Charlie.
exactly. If we ever need more dipster sound
Can't
bites,
help it.
Charlie,
Yeah,
you're right there on call. This is going to be wonderful. There they are. This is the third of 4 magical islands we expect dipsters to be added to during anniversary year, and I think they do just a wonderful little job of juicing up Light Island.
Yes, they juice it up, but don't take the spot light.
Ah,
dare I
yes,
say.
yes, away. I think Light Island is really settling into a wonderful groove with the addition of both Whiz Bang and the Dipsters.
It really
it's sounding absolutely glorious and celebratory, right?
is,
It's a
of course.
celebration, and that's
And
totally
it's so
fitting.
vibrant with the new skin.
I totally agree.
it's coming together.
It comes alive.
Yes, it comes alive.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So that's all today in terms of new content with sky painting. Many of you, a huge number of you, were expecting something else today, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But of course, you're going to have to exercise a little bit of patience as per usual, just like last year. But like I said, we're going to get into that a little bit later. But something else that I wanted to talk about, of course, a little bit, the reason for the season, so to speak. And I know many handler helpers were going, sky painting, where is it? They were convinced. Right. I don't know where this idea came from, but they were convinced that it was going to be last Wednesday, when of course last Wednesday was Single Element Ethereals on the Call, Singing the Water Conundrum. There's lots of exciting stuff happening last week. But the reason, of course, that the inaugural sky painting is happening today on June 28th is that it is a very notable day in the history of Pride.
Right.
It is the date of the Stonewall riots all the way back in 1969, and on in 1970 were when the first marches and parades were first sort of coming into the cultural consciousness. So obviously it's a really important day to recognize that. And I mentioned earlier, of course, that the spirit of sky painting is very much that of being authentic, finding one's voice, living truthfully, and a sense of belonging, right? And to remind everybody in the Handler Helper community, My Singing Monsters is a space where everybody, where we work so that everybody feels respected, included, represented. And obviously this is a major and important part of us,
100%.
what we do here. And so we're very excited to have sky painting kicking off on this very historically significant day. And some of the recipe data for Whiz Bang itself sort of hints at that connection as well, and so there's that going on. But of course, the imagery of the firework itself is also, I think, sort of a great allegorical, sort of metaphorical way of describing how one finds one's voice, the previously silent, finally able to express themselves in an authentic way. So for me, the imagery, it's not one or the other, it's all married together. It's a perfect time of year to be celebrating those sorts of values and those sorts of ideas. Speaking of those values and ideas, we've got some exciting news to announce today, which is that Big Blue Bubble is going to be a presenting sponsor at London Pride 2023. So that's very cool. Something that you may not know is that here in London, Ontario, we have Pride is celebrated later in July.
Yes.
So yes, Pride Month, of course, is June. But here in London, we're London, we're quirky, we do things a little bit differently. And so yeah, it's coming a little bit later in July. Obviously, supporting our local community is something that's really important to us. So as a presenting sponsor, obviously, part of that comes as like a form of a donation to London Pride. So that's something that's really important to us as well. We will be exhibiting at the Outdoor Festival over the weekend of July 21st to the 23rd and participating in the Pride Parade on Sunday, the 23rd. So I think that's really awesome.
It'll be fun.
It's something that we're passionate about.
Yeah.
It's important, right? Like, this is a space for everyone,
of course.
and yeah, living authentically is something that's really important to us. So we're really pleased with how that is going to be shaking out, and you'll have to stay tuned to our social media channels for, I'm sure we'll be TikToking, or sharing updates throughout the day of being a part of that important celebration. So we're really stoked about that.
Yes, we are.
So
yes.
That's not the only stuff that we're going to be talking about. There's some other aspects of sky painting that we're going to get to, namely some special offers and promotions, some of which have already begun, others of which you will be getting a sneak peek of a little bit later. I know. That's why you tune in to My Singing Monsters Live, so you can get this sneak peek of what's to come, obviously.
It's like a club.
Exactly. And
like
you're invited.
Everybody's invited.
Everyone's invited.
That's the theme. You may be sensing a theme here.
Because you don't want to miss out on a cool club.
No.
Just saying.
And you want to be part of this club.
Yes.
Unlike Groucho Marx, who didn't want to be part of a club, who would have him as a member. We want everybody as a member.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
So we're going to take a quick break in order to segue into a different segment, if I'm not mistaken, and that is going to be our question and answer segment.
Not quick question.
Not quick questions. I've made that mistake before. That's your province now.
Yes.
Belongs to you. It's not for me.
Fine.
Not
I trademarked
anymore.
it. I trademarked it.
Did
So
you?
every time you say it, I get a cent.
I did not know that. I will stay quiet.
cents.
And notably, I will
0.5.
set aside the Myehutikon here, which may have some of the information, and see if I can just summon it up from my memory. I'll set it aside here. I will have a quick swig of water of the living ocean, because I do find that helps to refresh the old synapses.
Yes.
Is it going to be a joint effort?
It'll
We're
be a
going to
joint
bounce
effort,
back and forth.
but
Oh, I love that.
yes.
I love hearing different voices asking me questions.
Beautiful. So before we get started, these are questions. Cut to the camera when you took a swig. Very nice.
Yeah, because it's because this is the water of the living ocean. This is valuable stuff.
Valuable stuff.
You don't want to know what this goes for on the black market.
Okay, beautiful.
It's very pricey.
So we're going to go into some Q&A right now. Right now we do have some pre-selected questions, but we're also going to be taking some questions from the live chat. So please.
And Monster Handler Jen is vigorously
Monster Hunter
collecting
Jen and
them,
Allie are doing that, and so please make them lore related, because we don't want to spoil things for you. We know you want to know things, but
And we're not going to give it up either.
You're not gonna bully us into telling you.
We may know the answers to the questions, but we're not going to tell you.
It ruins the
Obviously. All right.
Exactly.
Okay. So questions.
So yes, this first question is actually from the trailer today in the comments. Monster Hunter Charlie, do you want to go into this?
Is it this one?
Yes, it's that one.
Okay. This one has a lot of exclamation
Yes,
points,
they're
so
very excited.
I'm gonna read this
Expressively.
Okay.
Wait. You're telling me now Whiz Bang is a prismatic globe? And prismatic gates still exist? And Light Island Titan can unlock them?
Well, let me tell you
a lot to
all
unpack.
about it. So, what's interesting, of course, is that I suppose you might consider Whiz Bang to be a prismatic globe.
Right, yeah.
But you have to recall that to be a prismatic is to venture to a dimension where you are not
Wait a second.
native to it.
Aren't globes from the prism dimension?
Yes, you're getting exactly to where I'm going.
Yes.
So,
It's all connected.
It's not a prismatic because it's actually just harnessing the powers of its native dimension.
Right.
Whereas something like a prismatic quibble, for example, is one that is like a foreign element to that world, and so it is modified, it is warped at the molecular level. Globes, they're on their home turf kind of thing, right? And so harnessing into the power and the sheer willpower of desiring to find one's own voice is how globes become whiz bangs in the first place. And I know some people were going like, this is news to me. Well, it shouldn't be news if you'd read the Whiz Bang's bio. It's just been out for over a year. So come on, you gotta read those bios.
Yeah, come on.
And And a second part of the question,
yes.
prism gates, do they still exist? They do. In very controlled environments. We have confirmed that the way that the fuser structure works is actually by opening tiny little prism gates into the prism dimension, from which globes can be conjured and subsequently fused. Now, Phosphora, the Titan of Light Island, does seem to have some sort of enduring special connection to the prism gate, which is why it seemed like when Phosphora blinked, they were able to conjure up the prism gate in the sky. And what was kind of cool, the imagery as in the Finding Your Voice trailer, is that we see the prism gate sort of upside down, right? Because typically the crystals are sort of rotating above the prismants. But it kind of looked like it was like a UFO beam, right? That was carrying globe up to complete its self-actualization.
So yes, prism gates in like the current time right now.
They don't open as unstably as they used to do. They used to be popping open all over the place.
But now it's more of like, it's a very controlled, rare occurrence. Like
yes. The fuser helps to sort of harness that energy. Right. And it seems like Phosphora has limited, access to it.
Yes, but not enough where like monsters are like getting sucked in and like.
Right. And notably the Aurora Monstralis and its magnetic field being dissipated during this time of year certainly helps in terms of interdimensional tomfoolery.
Now, when Globe was trying to find their voice, is that what conjured it up? Just the total wanting to find and putting it out there?
Charlie, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think that's a huge part of it, right? It's like the desire to live authentically. It's the desire to express oneself, and I think that Phosphora on some level picked up on that.
Yeah,
and I think you're absolutely right.
Beautiful. I think that answers all. Who asked the question?
Who asked the question? Oh,
you read it.
I don't know.
That was from Artsy Cosme 887.
So thank you for the question, Artsy Cosme 887.
Yes. Okay, so next question is from Cool Guy 23.
There are 22 of them before this one.
Well, you're cool, but not number one,
Yeah. That's not a contest. It's just an order.
Yeah, it's an order. Yeah, you're right.
It's not a ranking.
So, could the Titans be considered a class or a species? And then in brackets, considering Glubbers are also Titans. If a class, what species are the magical Titans?
Titans. Yes, Titans are are an unusual and a rare breed. I don't know if a class is the right way to describe them, because each of them are so unique. Some tend to be a little bit more animalistic, and others are sort of like these more humanoid, recognizable figures, I suppose, Each one is so unique. Like, I think of like the Giga Cheep and like being like a giant bird thing. That's the Air Island permanent Titan skin. And that to me feels quite distinct from something like Phosphora on Light Island, who, they come from different places. Their habits, their behaviors are quite distinct. So, yes, they're all Titans, but that is like a sort of loose family designation. It captures basically all the big stuff.
Right. Okay.
That's the best way to sort of group them all together. That's the only thing that they have in common with each other, and that they can support island life on top of their heads.
Right.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Next question.
This next one is from the Night Strikers.
Whoa.
Sounds like a group of superheroes.
Don't come out in the day. Only at night. Night Strikers.
Yeah, Night Strikers.
From the Night Strikers.
Yes.
Okay.
How does Bowhead float?
Yeah.
Does Bowhead float?
Yeah,
That's a great
going on
question. It uses a special sort of attunement, if you want to call it that, with the element of water. It, of course, is the water top boss, and it's almost like it can reinterpret air as an extension of the water where it's most at home. It can sort of fly on it. I don't know if you've ever seen Fantasia 2000 and the Pines of Rome sequence with the humpback whales flying through the ice field.
Absolutely beautiful.
Similar sort of vibe, and admittedly, part of the inspiration behind us going, well, floating whale, hey, and music, it's all coming together.
Exactly.
So there you go.
I remember when we first discovered Bowhead, my theory was it was so big it had its own gravitational pull and it could kind of do that, but no, that's not what it is.
Well,
That'd be a big whale, or
I
a
don't
big
ever-
whale.
I don't ever want to shut down ideas like
Well,
that because the physics of the monster world are quite distinct from
Yes.
those of the human world, right?
Yes, it's so maybe that theory kind of works if it's like a bigified Bowhead.
Oh,
maybe.
definitely, because you know they're,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
among the largest monsters
They are.
in the monster world.
Yes.
They are Leviathan beasts.
Yes. Just to give everyone my early theory when we first met them.
Yes.
Now our next question is from Kind Crisp. How does whiz bang recover from blowing up? How can it even explode in the first place?
We sort of recognize it as being blowing up and exploding, but that's just the mechanism by which whiz bang makes its sound.
Yeah.
Recall that, you know, this seasonal monster sort of, you know, reconfigured its own molecular structure in the prism gate so it can sort of disassemble, reassemble at will.
That's what I was going to ask. So it can basically manipulate its own molecule.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Which is probably easy for it because it's partly cloud.
Right,
True.
exactly. It's not too dense, right? Like
Right.
when it does form back up, there's a sort of like you can kind of see through it kind of quality to it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not exploding and it's not a recovery so much as it is just reassembling itself into a molecular shape we can recognize.
I've got a soft spot for whiz bang. I think it's super cute.
I agree.
Yes.
Those big eyes.
Yes. Which monster is more cute, whiz bang or schlep?
Both.
Both.
Yes.
Schlep.
It's never a contest. You
No,
gotta love
no.
all your monsters equally.
Yes. Yes.
I do love
Because if
schlep.
you start to show favoritism, you will
You're right.
get
You're right. I think
hate
I was
mail.
just saying like which one will you be like, aw, like the most?
right.
Yeah.
Yes, and one's allowed to have like certain affinities
That's
for
true. You're
certain
right.
other ones, or perhaps strained relationships like mine with Hans is still a little rocky.
Right. Yeah.
Rocky because it's on Earth Island. But we love all of our monsters equally.
Beautiful. Okay.
Okay, so this next one is from Rhino BTL _gamer. How
Okay.
do gobs produce light from their mouths?
Yeah.
It's all thanks to their internal organs. Yes, its mouth is called. It produces something called the aperture overture.
Whoa.
And it's all of the internal structures which we don't understand the biology of it all, but it's able to create this beautiful sound that perfectly complements
That's very cute.
Light Island.
Very cute. So you're telling me their literal organs are lighting up inside them?
You got it.
Wow. That's cool. That's really
I
cool.
wonder what their diet is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something special about that monster's metabolism, and it's so unassuming, and it's like non-singing idle form. You could walk right on by and not know that it's a monster, but then when it goes to sing and it goes to do its light display, you're like, whoa! Never underestimate
A gob.
So,
a gob.
So is their skin like extra opaque then because like
It's got to contain the light
it's got to
inside.
contain the light because it's probably so is it always can it this is my question, can it like manipulate the light and like turn it off and on, or is it always like light in there?
To answer such questions, you'd have to be inside a gob, which
I'm
I
okay.
don't recommend.
I'm okay.
I don't
think-
recommend.
Yes,
It's
I'll
kind of
pass.
stinky in there.
Yes, I'll pass.
The internal organs, you're inside.
Yes.
It's gross.
Now,
I wouldn't.
A quick question before we get into, well, not a quick question. Whoa. A question that Monster Handler David wanted to pose was, does this mean that we're getting prismatics in core MSM?
Ben, take to me. Here we go.
Yeah.
No. No, it does not. Unless you count Epic Quibble,
Right.
which is an offshoot sort of derivative form
yeah.
of a prismatic.
That's an
But
edge
no,
case.
Yeah.
the Prism Gate in the contemporary monster world is the exclusive province of the globes and of the fuser, and that is something that is remaining unique to that prehistoric era of the monster world.
Okay, great. Okay. So, These are from our live chat. So these are
So what this always means is that I haven't had a chance to take a look at these in advance.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna stump me, now's your chance.
All right.
All right,
go
here we
ahead.
go.
Okay, this one is from King Wither. Did the Fire Colossal imbue its life force into Fire Oasis the same way the Colossals did back during the Cataclysm?
Wow.
Yes, I think in a very similar way. What's sort of interesting about Fire Oasis, of course, is that like it was a construction project essentially undertaken by the natural monsters to give fire monsters a new home on the surface. This is, of course, before the fire expeditions went and sort of made contact with the magical elementals. But at that time, the Fire Colossal, which I will remind the folks at home, the handler helpers, is the same spirit on the higher plane as Amber Island, but cleft in twain in two different pieces. Yes, as part of that blown glass structure that was created, that also serves as a vessel for half of the soul, the essence, the spirit of the Fire Colossal, much in the same way that a glass vessel may contain a delicious drink on a hot summer day.
Very nice.
Well, I hope, King Wither, I hope that answered your question.
I hope so. You even got a little bit of mime out of me, so there you go.
Now, from Stupa Dupa, we see that Phosphora, am I saying that right?
I always put the emphasis on Phosphora.
Phosphora. Okay,
But I'm sure
Phosphora.
phosphor is fine.
Phosphora has the power to summon the Prism Gate. Was Phosphora responsible for the Prism Gate destroying the Outer Islands in Dawn of Fire? Or was she the origin of the Prism Gate?
All right, I have a point of clarification I got to put out here. First of all, Phosphora did not destroy anything, and the Outer Islands were not destroyed. They disappeared. Big difference. Big difference. We make the distinction.
The outer.
Right, but no, Phosphora did not create the Prism Gate, which destroyed, because the Outer Islands were not destroyed. They just, I have to assume, based on the logic of what we understand of the monster world, they're just somewhere else.
Right. Okay.
Somehow
Perhaps just doing their own thing. But no, they were not destroyed. Okay. That is a common, I think, misconception that they were obliterated. They were not. They just disappeared.
They just kind of went away.
They just disappeared. Yes. And but to circle back to the initial question, no. Where Phosphora fits in the chronology of the phenomenon of the Prism Gate is still unclear.
Right.
Because there's quite a gap of time between the Cataclysm and the Prism Gate sort of swallowing up the Outer Islands and the appearance of these newer titans in the monster world. Right. They've still been around for a bit, but there was still sort of like a hiatus period there, where it's just like, what's going on? I don't know.
Right. Okay. Beautiful. So,
next question is from Milan MSM. We knew Anglo was around the Dawn of Fire, but what about the other mythicals?
A very interesting question. I know that Ultimate creator Eric and I discussed the idea of the Cherubble being one of the first monsters that the Colossals designed. So whether or not they actually came into being at that time, or whether they sort of sprang into being at a later date, is unclear. But at least in the case of Cherubble, as an idea for a monster, it's been rattling around in the minds of the Colossals for a long time. Perhaps even as old as Monculus and Droa and Fandle and some of the other ones that we met earlier this month during Life Formula.
Right, and in Anglo's case, it's also an extraterrestrial.
Exactly, so extra monsterial.
It's funny you say that, because going back to Gob, I always felt Gob was a little extraterrestrial.
Yes.
But kind of like something that almost like a plant on an extraterrestrial planet.
Yes, or perhaps an egg pod out of which may crawl a cute little creature. Not at all something terrifying that would make you scream in space. Not like that.
Okay, yes. No, none of that.
Okay, what do we got next?
We got from KT Kitten YT. What do fire monsters do with relics? Ordos use them for vocal potential, but what about fire monsters?
What about fire monsters?
What about the fire
Great questions. There's a strong connection between relics and fire monsters because of the relative position of the living core of the monster world, which is born of fire, and its connection to the Stablo Miejuricha, the world tree, the bubble tree of the Big Blue Bubble multiverse. So there's something strongly connected there with the idea of the hardened sap, the amber of it, connecting to the living core and the element of fire.
Right.
So those ideas are closely related. So fire monsters don't like consume relics in the same way as Wordos do.
Okay.
They instead just sort of resonate with them. They sort of commune with them.
Right.
Right.
Also, you saying Stablo Miejuricha. I know I'm not saying it right. I know I'm not saying it right, but I wanted to try this.
You just got to slow down.
Okay.
Stablo Miejuricha.
Stablo
Even I, listen,
Miejuricha.
I don't even. Yeah, that was pretty
Stablo
good.
Miejuricha.
It's closer than yours, my dear. So
Yeah, good.
we'll keep working on it.
Oh,
We'll keep
man.
working on it. But yeah.
Okay.
Stablo Miejuricha. And who knows? My ancient Aramonic / Croatian is I don't know Croatian. So I did ask an employee here at Big Blue Bubble how my pronunciation was, and he was very supportive, but who knows if he was being honest about whether or not it's accurate.
you'll get it.
At all.
Keep trying. Okay, so this next question comes from Dumb64.
Don't say that about yourself. You're just as smart as all the rest. Okay. Here we
Okay,
go.
the question is, how high can a whiz bang go up into the sky until it explodes into fireworks?
Whoa.
How much bang could a whiz bang bang if a whiz bang could bang whiz? That doesn't quite work
No, I
out.
don't like that.
Anyway, how high can it get up in the sky? Being a monster that can float and elevate, I think that it, under its own power, it can fly a little bit. But we know that right there at the ground level, Whiz Bang is able to produce those firework sounds and lights as well. So I think it's in a range of altitudes, to be honest
Is
with
whiz
you.
bang a Heliostratus or a Helionimbus?
Oh, all right. Now we're getting into cloud science. one of the branches that I did not train in at the Monster Academy.
Those are the only two cloud words I know.
They're great words.
Now, if you want to have the most interesting show about cloud science, I think this is it.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not often that you hear it spoken about, and cloud science potentially figures into a recent horror movie in the past couple of years.
Oh, right.
I won't name drop it because it's kind of a spoiler. But don't watch this if you haven't seen it. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. It's probably too late. It's probably too late for you if you haven't seen it already. I apologize.
Next question from Beetle Royale. Who builds the castles for the monsters and breaks the trees for the monsters?
Huh.
Yeah.
I'd say breaks the trees.
Yeah. Who
Knocks them down.
knocks them down?
Fells
Rips them all down.
Yes. Do you think back in the day when language was being formed, do you think they're like, should we break it or should we like
Chop it.
chop it?
Chop it.
Yeah. They're like,
Rip
nah,
them
chop.
all down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do the castles come from? Obviously, each castle begins fairly humbly.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of put together with local materials. It's certainly not as formal a structure as some of the more upgraded forms, like extravagant castle, luxurious castle, paradise castle, stuff like that. In terms of the later stage castles, those which are crafted with the crystals from the era of Dawn of Fire, those are constructed based on fire monsters' mineralogical acumen. They have a close relationship with these things because pyrozite was the first crystal in the main dimension, which itself was based on crystallium, which was the first crystal from the pocket dimension and the first crystal of the monster world, if you exclude, this answer just keeps going on and on and on, if you exclude syncopite, which is sort of the celestial of crystal and sort of the progenitor of all crystalline things, including diamonds. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Well, I think that will conclude our Q&A.
Lots of great questions.
Yes,
lots of great
questions
today.
A lot of great ansers.
A lot of great
well,
answers.
thank you. I try my very,
Unpracticed.
very best. Yes, some of them were, and others were off the cuff, just like Mammoth's costume, off the cuffs.
Yes. So next up, we'll be going into our creator showcase, but we're kind of patting ourselves on the back here because we're
on this show, patting ourselves on the back. No, we never do something like that.
One of our brand new series, Creator Calls.
Ooh, yes. I did have the opportunity to tune into the first couple of these. Tyson, tell us what these are all about.
So basically, we call with all your favorite creators that have been creating MSM content, and we basically kind of like a podcast, kind of like an interview-esque, and just ask them questions.
A get-to-know you session.
Yeah, I get to know you, and we also talk MSM as well,
right?
Which is always fun like that. And yeah, we've already talked to a few creators. We won't spoil them.
Yes, we've got them in the cartridge.
We got them already recorded and ready to go. But we also want to know, like, what creators do you want us to talk to? Because so far we've talked to Popcross.
Yes.
Who does the amazing Monstrous Monsters.
Yep.
Right.
Those were very cool. I just got to jump in.
Yes.
I'm relieved that I'm not killed off.
Yes, I know.
In his continuity.
Confirmed.
Thank you, Ben. To me, please. Thank you, Popcross, for not killing me off in your universe.
You're loving this one.
I appreciate it. Hey, why not? I take advantage.
It is really good.
These are special addresses.
And then again, without the creator calls, we would have never probably have known that you actually were alive in his canon.
There's the value.
Exactly.
Saved my life. Saved my fictional life.
Saved your life.
Phew. Yes. So that's great. And then the second one was Forever Nina.
Forever Nina. Yes.
That was a really fun one.
That was a fun
Yeah. And you can see her enthusiasm for the brand and for our music, and so that one was a really cool one
It's
to
just
watch
so
as
cool
well.
to see the other creators going, you know what, My Singing Monsters has got something, and I want to be involved.
Yeah. Also, because again, like Popcross doing like his stuff, and then Forever Nina also doing
complete different
like worlds, and like again, like it's been fun for us, looking into the different aspects of our community and also looking into their communities and seeing what we can like bring each other.
It's just great. So nice seeing the monsters go on to do other things.
I know we're going to be empty nesters one day, but what's our credo at Big Blue Bubble? We inspire worlds of creativity. This is supposed to be something that you learn at Monster Handler Academy. Yeah. But I will evidently have to have a pop quiz.
I just wanted to see if you knew
with these two young whippersnappers.
I want to be honest. I knew it, but I get drenched in sweat whenever you do this to me.
I know.
When you just look at me and just do a blank, and I get so nervous, and I'm like, I don't want to screw it up, because the last time I've like either spoiled stuff or I'll say the wrong thing.
You're supposed to be teaching me.
Tyson, I apologize. I don't mean to bring the heat so much on you.
I know. You know what though? I need to get more confident.
It's okay. It's okay.
You got it, man.
Listen,
thank you.
This is a learning space, and whenever I tease, I do it lovingly, in jest, and supportively.
Yes.
All right.
But you know what, Monster Hunter, let's work on that. Let's study up. And
what do we do at Big Blue Bubble? We
inspire
forms of creativity.
You threw me off. Anyway.
All right, let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling. All right.
All right. So if you haven't already, check out Creator Calls. It's great.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're awesome.
Okay, what's next?
Next, we are going into more upcoming events and promotions.
Okay, very good stuff. Okay, so some of these promotions have already begun, you lucky waddles, you. Let's take a look and see what we can. Not that one, Ben. What did I just finish saying? This is a supportive place where we all support each other.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I know, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. So, the Loud and Proud promotion kicks off today, in which featured rares and epics. And what's the theme there? They are multicolored, of course.
Yep.
They're available to buy or breed in the market on their respective islands. For me, Loud and Proud is a perfect encapsulation of sky painting. Loud, fireworks; proud, acceptance, supporting, stuff like that.
Yes.
Pride, it's what it's all about. So please take advantage of this awesome special seasonal sale while these monsters are available.
Nice.
And of course, also thematically related to sky painting, the inaugural sky painting, is the next promotion, which is starting tomorrow, our With Flying Colors promotion.
Oh my gosh.
which offers you 50% less time conjuring and fusing globes.
Imagine all the globes.
Way to go, globes.
that
I
are
know.
getting
you're-
conjured.
Listen, there's no better time to be awash in beautiful multitudes of colors. So take advantage of this awesome With Flying Colors promotion while it's available.
I'm just so happy for Globe. Getting
I
all
know.
this attention.
I know. A lot of love.
And for so many years, you know, silent. My heart breaks a little bit in finding your voice when it musters all of its energy and just those notes of rest emanate from it, and you're like, oh, my heart is breaking. I want you to live your truth, Globe.
Exactly.
your best life.
And that's what sky painting is all about. And of course, you know, we've been talking about the Prism Gate. We've been talking about the connection. You can sort of see the Prism Gate there behind. And that is true of our Prismatic Praxis promotion, which is running in Dawn of Fire, in which all prismatics are available in the Prism Gate on all outer islands for the entire duration of sky painting. on
man.
Light
I'm gonna
Island
have to get
in
on
My
that.
Singing Monsters.
Oh my
So
God.
if you're missing any of these awesome prismatics, and we've released over 50 to date. That's 50
That's a
times.
lot.
That's 50 times
I was gonna
6.
say,
What's that quick math, Tyson?
I do quick questions.
300. 300 if I'm not mistaken.
300.
Yes.
Thank you, Matt.
Just knock off the zeros. It helps. It helps. But
guys
yeah,
gotta stop doing
this prismatic this prismatic Praxis event will allow you to snag those prismatics. Now, it being the time of year where, you know, we're celebrating everything multicolored and every possible color of the rainbow, you know, I do wonder if at some point during sky painting we may witness for the first time the arrival of a heretofore unknown prismatic species in Dawn of Fire. I don't know. It just seems like
You
it
just
would
have
be
a feeling.
It just seems like it would be appropriate, don't you think?
I would say.
Don't you think? Okay, maybe we'll see. You know, sky painting just started today, and there's several days left to go in it. So we'll have to check back in at some point and see if maybe there's a you know a new face to meet, to greet.
Whoa.
And finally, without much further ado, we know a lot of you have been wondering about this in particular. And go ahead, Ben. Here they are.
The results
Of our second ever Make a Mythical Community Challenge. Now, I was trolling y'all earlier when I was saying that you know, this happened last year, where at the end of Month of the Mythical, you're like, okay, we voted. Where's the monster?
Right.
Leaving us, monster handlers, no time at all to design the beast in question.
Yeah, how are we supposed to design it when we don't know what it looks
But
like?
we do have a leg up this year, of course, and that we know what the Firehaven Mythical is going to sound like. But thanks to your handler helper contributions, we also know the following aspects of the Firehaven Mythical to be true. 1. It produces sound using its anatomy, not using an instrument outside of its body. 2. If one had to compare it to an animal from the human world, we would say that this monster is primarily insectoid.
That is so cool.
I was chatting with one of our monster handler artists earlier, and we were wondering, you know, how big of a group insectoid actually is. Are we talking crustaceans? Are we talking
Arachnid.
other isopods, arachnids? Exactly. Who knows? But what we do know is that it will be part of a family group. So we'll have to check in with one of our existing insectoid monsters and see if it has a long-lost cousin waiting to be discovered.
Yes.
Fourthly, it will blend in with its surroundings. Now,
Very
these are its surroundings on Fire Haven, notably not on Mythical Island, which of course it will also appear on.
It's such a cool like color palette. Like I'm really excited.
Yes, I think that
But how
would
are
be
we
a
going
very
to find it if it blends in?
Oh my gosh, you're right. Maybe camouflage will figure in prominently. We're going to have to go by smell, I think.
Yeah.
Speaking of smell, it at least won't smell like metal because there are no robotic elements to the
Nice.
monster. You overwhelmingly voted no robots. No robots.
No spider robots here.
Exactly. Another interesting one that you voted for overwhelmingly is that this monster will be asymmetrical, not symmetrical. So different sides of the monster will look a little different. So that's kind of neat. In terms of its mythology, will it expand on the Dreamcraft path squares? No, you said. Will it expand on more of the creator experience decorations? No way, you said. You said you wanted to expand on something else. So that'll be on us monster handlers to try and figure out what this Firehaven Mythical brings to the table. Some new lore that it may dredge up.
Interesting.
And then finally, in terms of disposition, in terms of personality, you voted that this monster would be happy to go with the flow.
I like
not
that.
a party animal, not shy, but just happy, content to do its own thing.
This monster's not going to fight the ocean. It's just going to ride the waves.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it, but not the the waves of flames.
yeah. Sorry, the waves of flames.
Which sounds kind of bad and evil, but we promise it's great. Firehaven is an awesome place to be. So, as before, we are going to begin the process of bringing this Firehaven Mythical to life. And gee, I wonder, when in the past was there a similar sort of community challenge, and when did that monster release? I won't say it out loud because I know our handler helpers are smart enough to read between the lines and put together the pieces of what I'm trying to say, but if I had to guess, the Firehaven Mythical and its accompanying Dream Mythical are slated to arrive at around the same distance from the end of the month of the mythical, etc. So, for all of you who were expecting it today, I'm very sorry, but you know what? Truer words were never spoke, especially of the Firehaven Mythical. Let it cook.
Let it cook. Let it
cook. How do you cook? With flames, with fire. Where's this monster going to be? Firehaven. Let it cook. Leave it with us. We will bring another amazing monster to life based on based on your contributions and your voting. I do want to thank all of the handler helpers who participated in all 8 of the polls which were run on our YouTube channel over the course of Month of the Mythical. It's sad to be saying goodbye to another Month of the Mythical, but don't worry, there will be other ways to engage, to participate with us monster handlers in the future.
Of course. This will also, I think this is a good prompt to get some fan art going too.
Oh, absolutely.
What's your interpretation of the Firehaven Mythical?
Exactly.
Those are great prompts too. I think it's really cool.
I have seen some amazing ones start to take shape over the course of Month of the Mythical, some amazing community suggestions. Of course, we will do our best to shield our eyes and come up with some neat ideas ourselves, because we know how talented our handler helper community is. And yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So. In improv. And yeah.
So, one more thing as we approach the end of our show. I don't know if we wanted to go and grab any of the fan art that was sent in. Monster Handler Tyson, can I send you off to go and retrieve if you can? Yeah. And I'll have a word with Monster Handler Charlie, bring him officially on board. Okay. It's not a reprimand, it's not a discipline. I just want to learn a little bit more about Charlie.
Okay. Yeah, just learn about.
Okay, so turn off your mic, I guess, and
you don't want me feeling.
Monster Handler Ben
skedaddle. Yeah, we'll hear your breaths. All right, you're already disconnected.
Bye, everyone.
All right, you'll be back.
You just hear I'm like.
Yeah, the stuff that Monster Handler Jen was showing me earlier.
Godspeed.
Yes, Galvanispeed, as we say in the monster world. So, Charlie, I just want to, behind the scenes, Charlie and I have known each other for some time. But for you handler helpers at home who are meeting Monster Handler Charlie for the first time, tell us a little bit more about your interests. What do you like? What do you play? What kind of games? What kinds of movies, TV shows? Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, well, I was in testing for 6 years here at Big Blue Bubble, helping to make sure that My Sing Monsters was always at its best when we release new updates.
Awesome. So you'd say that you've been around the monster world, just not in this specific capacity.
Not in this specific
for a little bit of time.
Yes.
So that's great. That's awesome.
I love reading and writing.
Nice.
Primarily fiction and fantasy and all that fun stuff.
Nice.
Right now, I really like playing Witcher.
Yep. Excellent.
Very good.
Excellent.
I actually do play My Sing Monsters every day as much as possible. Recreationally.
Wow.
And I'm right now unlocking Wubboxes to replace my Entbrats on Plant Island.
Oh, so you're getting that
getting those
sweet,
monies.
You're getting that sweet coin farm
Yes,
going.
I am.
Aha, yes. Well, I can't disapprove. That's the beauty of My Sing Monsters. You're allowed to decorate your islands however you want. However you want. That's awesome.
Yes, and now I'm on the marketing team, helping with the Monster Handler Ben making the trailers, and I'm having a lot of fun with Monster Mythos with some new things coming.
Ooh, very exciting. Can you give us any sort of sneak peek about what's coming, or is that under wraps still?
It's in theme with the month.
Okay. Okay. Very exciting.
That's all I can say.
Very exciting. Yes, well, certainly the very first one that was released was perfectly opportunely timed because it's Month of the Mythical, and that very first one, of course, figured Rare Yostrich figured prominently in there.
Yes.
So perfect timing for that first nugget of Monster Mythos stuff. Well, that's so awesome. Well, it's excellent to have you in this new role, and it's excellent that. To have you on the show as well. Monster Handler Tyson, you're back.
He's back.
And in that time, you lost your hat.
Oh, I did.
But that's okay. That's because he was working so hard, folks.
He was running so fast.
Listen, I was sent on a wild goose chase because I couldn't find any art on the desk, and then I was told where the art was, so I found some art elsewhere.
Okay.
Wow, these are great.
Yeah.
All right. So just because I've got the camera on me, perhaps I will show them as you pass them to me.
This is what a fan gave us at VidCon, actually. They came to handle it themselves.
Wow. I see Humbug. I see Toe Jammer. I see a
Sousa.
Monsterling Sousa.
Yes, and those were all their favorite monsters.
Oh,
awesome.
an excellent trio.
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Andres, for this.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. We'll have to put it up on our fan art wall.
Yes.
I love that wall.
Well, we're already up, and that's where I went to go get these.
Oh, that's where they went. I apologize. I sent you on a wild chase.
I ran to the desk, couldn't see him, threw my hat in frustration, and then found more.
Oh my gosh! You disrespected the helmet.
Well, I threw it, and I dived, caught it,
And then it fell off when he was running so fast.
That's a relief. That's a relief. Here from Isaac, we have a collection of monsters from Plant Island. Here I see Sugarbush. I see the longest neck on a potbelly I've ever seen. Toe Jammer, Maw, Furcorn, Noggin, and Mammoth. Excellently well done, Isaac, and even did an excellent job of the My Sing Monsters logo there as well.
Yeah.
The expression on Sugarbush is like perfect. Well done,
Nice.
Isaac.
A very cool concept right here.
Whoa! Here is the Ethereal Island Epic Wubbox by Zane. I hope I'm saying Zane correctly. But check this guy
Cool.
Very
out.
nice.
Very cool.
Very, very cool. Now,
You can
of
see
course,
his box up in the corner.
Yes, yes, in
Very
its powered down inactive form. Now, the notion of an epic Wubbox on Ethereal Island is theoretical at best at this time. However, with the recent discovery of Epic Wisp, the first of the double element epic ethereals, one can only hope that on some future day, the Ethereal Island Epic Wubbox may become a reality. But in the meantime, we can enjoy this beautiful speculative piece of art. Well done, Zane.
Yes.
Wow, look at the vibrance of this one.
Yes, look at this one. This one's great. I love this one.
Holy moly. This one is from
that's from
our
Library Day.
Our recent Library Day that we did here at the London Public Library. We had a draw Furcorn session with monster handler Randy, who's the art lead on My Singing Monsters and who consulted and advised during the Ultimate Creator visits as well. You know, everything goes through him. So he was quite impressed with this.
Yeah,
Thought
it's
that this
great. I
was
love the detail.
awesome. There's no mistaking that for Furcorn. I love the music notes that are ricocheting out of its
really
mouth
cool.
there.
It's really cool.
I think from a name standpoint, I see an O initial. So thank you, O. Well
and then
done.
now we
O.
have another like fan-made monster,
Whoa, the Castlotl.
which I believe
By
we
PAX.
also talked about this one during the Monster Mail episode. Yes.
excellent.
So,
So-
we have,
Feature.
so we can have a better look here.
All
as
right,
well.
so here we go. This is Castlotl here by PAX. It looks like it's related to Ziggurat.
That's what I was
A
thinking
little
too.
bit. I see the tail there, the crab stacks, if you want to call
Crab
them
stacks.
that. The name also evokes potentially Pixelotl,
Yes.
Yes.
the Wublin, and you can see these tree gills up on the sides of its head there. Very creative. They even have information here about how it sings. It whistles through these
cool.
cavities on its body.
Those
Excellent,
are awesome.
excellently well done. Thank you, Monster and the Tyson. I'm sorry for putting you through the motions
no
there
worries.
of running all over the office in order to secure those. But I think it's important when we receive such awesome fan mail to feature it here on My Singing Monsters Live. So, as we approach the end of our June 2023 Volume 2 episode of My Singing Monsters Live, we have some exciting news to share.
More news.
And what is that news? Monster Handler Ben, why don't you cue up the graphic?
Whoa.
What?
You are hearing it here first. My Singing Monsters will be going to PAX West from September 1st to 4th in Seattle, Washington, United States, North America, Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, etc.
Oh my gosh.
This is a totally exciting announcement. You're hearing it here for the very first time. There will be monster handlers in attendance. You'll be able to see some monsters in the flesh, perhaps as you've never seen them before. We don't know. It'll be very exciting. You'll have an opportunity to potentially get some exclusive merch.
Whoa.
Get some exclusive first looks. That's what I'm most excited about. And we want you, if you're in that neighborhood, to invite your favorite creators to our booth.
Yes.
And we can meet them and potentially collaborate on some cool stuff in the future.
The
Now,
monsters are going on a road trip.
you bet they are. and don't worry, we're going to have more information as the date approaches about how you can connect with us and some examples of stuff that we might be doing online or stuff that's only going to be happening on site at the location. And of course, September 1st to the 4th, September. I keep trying to remember, is there something significant about September? It's at the it's on the top of my helmet, and
Here, wait. Let
it's
me
not
grab it for you. There you go. Look at it.
Maniversary Unth.
I think you have it upside down.
Yeah, no, upside. Yeah.
Upside down. That's anniversary month backwards. No, but anniversary month, of course, takes place in September. So I wonder if, as part of this special event, some of the first looks that you're seeing will be part of our next huge update. We do have. Not to spoil too much, but we're not quite done with anniversary year yet. We've got at least a couple more tricks up our sleeve before we hit September, and we're very excited about those. But you'll have to wait.
Yes.
You'll have to wait, and you may have to wait potentially the entirety of the month of July.
Bum,
We
bum,
may so just forewarning you handler helpers now that in the month of July we may not have an episode of My Singing Monsters Live. It may be right at the beginning of the next month, which is my birth month, Poison's Mark,
Nice.
my celestial Scartar, in the month of August. But of course, there's a special event that we know is coming in the month of July, which no doubt we will have another exciting and entertaining Monster Handler short
Absolutely.
to show off for you guys. And one more quick thing, and that's an exciting thing as well. We've got this cool new thing that we've kicked off, the My Singing Monsters lo-fi stream.
I love this.
Now, this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Monster Handler David, it's on what platform? Okay. In case you didn't hear those hushed tones, this My Singing Monsters lo-fi stream will be on both YouTube and on Twitch. And it gives you, the community, the opportunity to just tune in, groove along to some awesome My Singing Monsters tunes, and enjoy some pretty nifty art, if I don't say so myself, crafted by a talented member of our marketing team.
Yes.
So, David, when is that getting started? Is that okay? Keep an eye out for it at the start of next week. So you heard it here first. Don't worry. As per usual, we are going to advertise it again on our social media channels. We won't leave you hanging.
Yes.
We'll let you know where to check it out.
But that's how you tune into that MSM Live.
Yeah,
so you can
exactly.
get these little bit of hints a little earlier.
Yeah, this group that's watching the episode right now is hearing this stuff before any of the other souls of the planet.
You take everything we say and dissect everything. And,
That's right.
Because we might be hinting to something in every sentence.
Even the word itself, dissection.
Whoa. Does that mean something? Probably
No.
not.
This is all news to me. This is exciting new stuff here.
Still a lot of exciting things coming in July. We're just probably not going to have a
Obviously. But yes, like I said, there will be a new handler helper, a new handler helper short. Are you guys making shorts now? I don't know. Of course, our community creates a number of exciting things. But no, we're going to have a new Monster Handler short to celebrate the debut of the 10th ever of this particular event. And on that day will be, I'm sure, a couple of other exciting things to check out for the first time as well.
Beautiful.
So,
I'm excited.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another great episode of My Singing Monsters Live. Charlie, it was great to have you on the show. Your first of many, I'm sure. It's going to be very exciting to see your development and growth as you continue to host and create for Monster Mythos. Tyson, I think you were telling me you had a new. Hi, it's nice to see you. I think you were telling me that you had another new segment that was in the works.
I have a new. Do we want to tell them or no?
No, I think it should be a surprise.
Should be a surprise.
But
okay.
but
It's
longtime fans of My Singing Monsters Live will be pleased.
Yes, that's the hint.
sure.
And
That's the hint.
You'll expect it probably in the next couple weeks.
All right, so July is shaping up to be an exciting month
Yes,
for My
very
Singing Monsters,
Jam-packed.
as it turns out. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Enjoy sky painting. It's an awesome time, and we're very excited and proud to be participating in the way that we are, both in our community and in game. Thank you so much, and until next time, happy monstering!